Hi, everybody. Sydney, you are just Johnny on the spot. I mean, Jamie on the spot. Okay, we're going to get started in 3 more minutes or so. Just going to wait for everybody to get on board. So just wanted to open it up a little early. Cool. Okay. And I think what I'll do is I like to kill a couple birds with one stone. Hi, everybody. Cool. Hello, hello. Mercedes. Nice. Hi, everybody. Just going to wait another minute or 2 or 3. I'm going to get started at 3. This is still a continuation of chemistry. All right. Hi, Kelly and Melissa Woodall. Hi there, everybody. Oh, thanks. I wore these to a wedding, so they come in real handy. Love those things. I love my bling. Molly Roberts. Okay. I'm going to wait. We've got a little bit more going on. Oh, all right. Do you want 1 more minute and then we're going to get started? H. Cool. Sam S. North. Hi, everybody. Okay, we're going to get started. Let's see. This is going to be chemistry, the 3 p.m. class, and we're going to be going over the pH scale. Just want to say hi to you all. Okay, Mary Helen, very good. I'll just wait. Okay, I want to get started. You're going to be taking notes. I took the liberty of getting one of the things ready that I wanted to go over. Oh, I had something, a tickle in my throat. All right, everybody, we're going to be discussing the pH scale. And I want you to write down what I've got over here. Unit of measurement. Excuse me. Determines if a substance is acidic, neutral, or alkaline in nature. So the pH scale is a unit of measurement that determines if a substance is acidic, neutral, or alkaline. Okay, the scale ranges from 1, actually it ranges from 0 to 14. We have always taught in color that it goes from 1 to 14. You could do 0 or you could do 1. I'll put 0 to 14 just to be a little more accurate with chemistry. All right, everybody? So it's 0 to 14. Okay. Where 1.0, or I'll just put 0. Okay, the scale ranges from 0 to 14. I want you to write that down. And the first point is going to be 0.1 to 6.9 is considered acidic. Okay. 7.0 is considered neutral. And 7.1 to 14.0 is considered alkaline. Write that down. Okay. The scale ranges from basically 0.1 to 6 to 14, where 0.1 to 6.9 is acid, 7 is neutral, 7.1 to 14 is alkaline. So I'm gonna diagram for you the pH scale, and you can draw this out. Okay. So I'd like for you to diagram out, draw this. It's from 0 to 14. And halfway through, I've got a little line there, and that is neutral. And that's a 7. And then on the left side is acidic, and the right side of the scale is alkaline. So I want you to write that. We're going to add some more things to this, okay? So this is the beginning. Okay. Neutral. We have water. So 7.0 is water. Okay. So I added water. That's 7. That's considered neutral. We have water. Okay, with that in mind, I can't remember. Did I already put that? I'm going to put a few little notes. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay. 4.5 to 5.5 on the scale is considered hair, skin, and nails. And this 4.5 to 5.5 is considered acid balanced. I'm gonna write that word down. And the reason it's called acid balanced is that's where your body should be. So believe it or not, neutral, when you think about it, neutral, which is water, is higher in pH than hair, skin, and nails. Okay, so write that down. Okay. In the 3 to 4 range, which is the left side of 7, okay, you have got your astringents, you have your toners, which are astringents, you have your neutralizers, and neutralizers can be anything that neutralizes the hair. Once you put water on your hair and you bring it out of its natural pH, you need something to neutralize that. So in order to get your hair back to 4.5 to 5.5, and you don't have to write this, guys, I'm just saying, I'll only have you write what I write down, okay? But what I want you to understand is that when you bring anything out of its natural pH, you have to balance it. So once you've bleached out the hair, once you've shampooed the hair, once you wash your face, if you're using regular soap or water, you need to do something to counterbalance to get that skin back to its natural acid mantle, natural balance. And that would be the scale of 4.5 to 5.5. So let's say someone washes their face with water. What do you have to do in order to get that face back to balance of 4.5 to 5.5? You would add an astringent or a toner, okay? With hair, you need a neutralizer. If you're perming it, you need a neutralizer to soften the hair back down. So once you've shocked your face, or your skin, or you've shocked your hair, you need to calm it down in order for it to look its best, okay? So what I want you to write is for 3 to 4, I want you to put the words astringent, toners, and neutralizers. Those are just a few of what's at that level, okay? Okay, now, in terms of the acidic portion, so remember, 0 to 7 is acidic, okay? So what does that mean? Besides astringents and toners, okay, if you went even lower than a 3 to a 4, anywhere from a 0 or whatever, a 0.01 to a 2, okay, on the scale, so lower than 3.4, you would also include acid peels. So acid peels is on the lower form of the spectrum of the pH scale. It's on the left side, very, very, very acidic. You got to be real careful when you're dealing with such things because you can burn a person's skin with that, okay? So acid peels are way low, okay? And just to give you an idea, if that's below a 3, just so you understand, orange peels, or not orange peels, oranges are at a 2.0. So I'm going to put that on here just to give you an idea. Okay, you've got oranges at 2. So if you put that on your face, I'll never forget, we were making masks when I was in school, and we would make several different kinds of masks, and we used all kinds of organic products. So I took egg white, and I put that on my face, and I'll tell you what, it burned. And I have extremely oily skin, so I figured, oh, great, you know, it'll help. And it did. It really did. But it burned my face so bad, I couldn't wait to get that stuff off. So it's like, when you put a mustard, have any of you ever put a mustard pack on your chest for a bad cough? That helps with it. Well, if you're not careful and you put it right on your skin, it's going to burn, baby burns. You got to be real careful with that. I did that too. Anything that can burn, hurt, or whatever, I've managed to do to myself. Okay, so we're moving right along. We're going to now discuss alkaline. All right, and the alkaline portion of the scale, I want you to put a little dash or dot or 1, whatever you want to do for a number. I want you to put ammonia as a pH of 9.0 and higher. Ammonia has a pH of 9.0 and higher. Okay. How you guys doing? Are y'all there? Are y'all writing? Let me know. Give me something. I want to make sure you can hear this. Hi, everybody. Now I've got it started. Yep. Okay. Oh, thanks. I just needed to see words. I'm not used to talking to myself here. Okay. Okay, I want you to, and I'm going to continue on putting alkaline permanent waves. Which is somewhere like a 6.8 to 9.6. And then chemical relaxers. (12 to 14). And just to really let you understand how alkaline, I put lye soap. And I'll explain why. Okay, so I want you to write all this down. Okay, so we have our ammonia, our permanent waves, our bleach, and as you can see, they get incrementally higher. Chemical relaxers, and lye soap. Back in the old days when I used to teach this, no, further back than that, parents would scare their kids by saying, I'm going to wash out your mouth with soap. And what everybody was afraid of back in the 1800s, early 1900s was the lye in the soap. Very, 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 very strong. This is the stuff they used in detergents. It's a soap that is so caustic, it can burn you. So this was used on clothing, not in your mouth. So if you can just imagine, but that's what they scared kids with. Okay, am I going too fast? Oh, you're multitasking. Tell me about it, Kelly. I'm multitasking too. Okay, good. Keep writing. You guys are doing great. You know, you can always go back to the video or take pictures of this. Okay, so whatever I put up, if it's easier for you to take a snapshot, do that. All right, so there's that. Okay, what I find real interesting, and this is what I enjoy, is that the pH scale is logarithmic. Let me write that word for you. Now, for me, anytime I hear the word arithmetic in a word, I panic. Oh, good. Thanks, Mary Helen. Okay, so logarithmic means that each number is increased by a multiple of 10. And I'm going to give examples. I just want you to get this down first. And I'll write that down. And I'm going to explain this in thorough detail, I promise. Great, Mercedes, no problem. That's okay, Amber. The main thing is you're here. Oh, I know, Mary Helen. Back then, yeah. And I'm very literal. So if my parents said something, it was law. That's it. Oh, good, Vicki. Cool, cool. Okay, so logarithmic means each number is increased by a multiple of 10. So I'm going to give you examples of that. Okay, so 8.0 is 10 times more alkaline than 7.0 on the scale. Okay. 9.0 is 100 times more than 7.0. 10.0 is 1,000 times more than 7.0. And if you take this all the way up to 14.0, that is 10 million times more alkaline. Okay, so let's discuss this in a lot of little detail here. Okay, so from the right side of the scale, from 7.0, which is neutral, every time you go up one number, 7 to 8, it's a multiple of 10. So when you sit there and tell someone, oh, chemical relaxer is, 10 to 12 on the pH scale, you're talking 1,000 times 10. 1,000 times 10. So what's that? 10,000, or is it 100,000? It's 100,000, isn't it? Yeah, well, something like that. Let me see. Okay, from 7, it's like a 0. 10, 100, 1,000. Oh, a million. Wait, no, I got this wrong. 10 is 1,000. Okay, yeah, because I only went up to 10. So 11, so each one, okay, so one, okay, so it goes, yeah, so it goes 1,000. I skipped a few, and that's why I panicked myself. So at 14, you're dealing with 10 million. Okay, I never even understood that. That just blew my mind. So that tells you how caustic and strong some chemicals are. So if bleach is at a 10, you're talking, okay, 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. 10,000 on a scale, okay? So yes, for alkaline. Yes. And I'm going to show you the converse side of this, meaning what happens when you're on the left side of the scale, meaning the acidic side. It's the same thing. So you go down from there. And so the further down you go, the higher up the acidity. So I'm going to do that for you. And then I'll show you what I mean by that. So in terms of, okay, so if you're, let's see, so 6.0 is 10 times more acidic than 7.0. Okay. 5.0 is 100 times more acidic. Okay, as it goes, so it's more acidic, less alkaline, more acidic. So that by the time you get to 1.0 or 0, you're at the million mark again. You're at it's times 1 million, okay, more in terms of strength than when you were at neutral. Okay, so the lower you go, the stronger. Okay, here we go. This is the example of what we're dealing with on the left side of that chart that you drew. Okay, the further you go down in one number increments, you multiply it by 10. It's 10. It's not 6 times 10, 60. It's 10,000. It's 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. Okay, 100,000, a million, all the way on up. Okay, 10 million. And that's all acidic, going on the other side of the scale. And these are just examples, but it wouldn't hurt for you to write them down, because I was having a heck of a time with this. I always wondered how intense. pH meant nothing to me, really, for the longest time. Okay. And you have a project that you got this morning that is going to go have you work on that for you. Okay. So now let's go to the term, or I'm going to have you write the term ion. Ion is an atom or molecule that has a different number of electrons than protons. And carries a positive or negative electric charge. Okay. Ooh, let me write that. Not dark enough. My OCD is kicking in. Ion, all right, is an atom. Go. Or molecule that has a different number of electrons than protons. So electrons and protons, and carries a positive or negative electric charge. And there are two kinds of ions. Oh, sorry, Sam, no worries. We've been having trouble with our internet as well. So I get you. Oh, Stephanie, don't worry. Just write down the notes. And then any kind of question you have, feel free to text right here if there's anything. Is there anything that I can go over with you right now since I've got this up? Do you have any particular question? Chemistry's not easy, guys. It's stuff that you got to really study and memorize. So don't worry too much, Stephanie. You can always repeat this. You can always, don't forget, you're also going to have an opportunity you can review the video at your leisure anytime. Oh, I know. It's a lot of numbers, so it's a lot of memorization. Okay. It'll be a lot easier when you can write the pH scale. So once you start using it, those of you that have to deal with color, it'll become second nature to you. But at first, there's just so much. So don't worry, as you start using it, it'll all make more sense. So even though you're getting the theory right now, when you get to school and you start working with this stuff, it'll start making a lot more sense. So Stephanie, are you in the cosmetology program? Same with you, Mercedes. I don't know. What programs are you in? Are you cosmetology, nails, or skin? Because it really makes a difference on how you apply and understand this. So I can help you with all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, you can do it in person to review it. Hands-on makes all the difference. Okay, cosmetology, let me tell you something. Even though you got to memorize it for tests and such, the truth of the matter is you really won't understand this until you start working with the product. I can promise you that. And then you'll care about what the pH is. Just know that really caustic hair products are high in alkaline and are on the right side of the scale. Just know that really strong caustic skin products for peels are way down on the acidic side. Skin masks, things like that. So anything that burns, the lower on the scale. Anything that burns, the higher on the scale. So the two ends, the extreme alkaline and the extreme acid, are going to burn. Okay. You want to kind of get the skin back to somewhere neutral, which is the acid balance, which is that number you have to know. And that was, what was it, 4.5 to 5.5. So I always say 4.5 to 5.5. That is the number that your skin you want to get to. And 7 will always be neutral. And then anything lower is lower, okay? Unless you work in a doctor's office, are you going to really have to worry, or you work for a spa that makes you do acid peels, do you really have to worry about that? So when it comes to hair, your focus is going to be worried about the pH of sodium hydroxide, much more intense. And sodium hydroxides are used on ethnic hair. So if you're relaxing ethnic hair, that stuff is extremely strong. You can't sit and put another perm on top of a sodium hydroxide. It'll melt the hair right off. So you got to be real careful on the chemicals that you put together. So it's not something you have to worry about now. You will learn when you're on that floor and when you're in the classroom with everyone, with the instructors. So don't worry too much. You're right, Lauren. Until you're doing it regularly, let me tell you, this is all gobbledygook, okay? But you got to get it. All right, so there are two kinds of ions I mentioned. Let's get back to that. And do not panic about this stuff, I promise you. There's hydrogen. And hydrogen gives a positive, it's called a positive electrical charge. And there's hydroxide. And hydroxide gives a negative electrical. Oh, I erased too much. Just write this down. It's going to have to be a little bit of memorization for test taking purposes, but once you get into the school and you forget the stuff, believe me, it'll come back to you. So, oh, I didn't put the word negative. So there we go. Hydrogen and hydroxide. Okay, I had trouble with that because I couldn't see the difference in the word. I couldn't understand, what are they talking about? Hydrogen positive, hydrogen negative. No, it was hydrogen and hydroxide. Hydrogen is positive. Hydrogen, hydroxide, so think oxide. Oxide is stronger than ogen. Oxide is, oh, got to oxidize, okay? So I think of when you have oxide in the word, it's very chemical. And you have negative electrical charges, okay? So write that down. Woo, almost lost that. Okay, the next thing is you need to know that hydroxide is oxygen and hydrogen. How do you like them apples? So it includes, oxide includes hydrogen and oxygen, and it functions as what we call a catalyst. And sometimes that the word catalyst is base, okay? Okay. Hydroxide is oxygen and hydrogen together, and it functions as a catalyst. Catalyst is a term that means to make a chemical reaction occur. So you're going to learn when you're in cosmetology, you learn it in color, catalysts, what they are, but you just need to know that right now it functions as a catalyst, meaning it's added to get something done, okay? So what they're talking about is like hydrogen peroxide is considered. Developers are called catalysts in color. Okay, so a developer meaning hydrogen peroxide. It's basically peroxide and water and oxygen. Okay, those are what is the catalyst to get the color to stay on your hair. It oxidizes. There's a chemical reaction that occurs in color where you have to have oxygen, hydrogen peroxide, which is developer, the tint, and melanin from the hair. And you're going to learn that when you go through color. Okay. Okay. Just for state board purposes, in case you ever see this statement, hydroxide is important to water. Just write that down in case you ever see a multiple choice test question or something about hydroxide. It's important to water. Okay, water is 7.0 and has an equal number of hydrogen and hydroxide ions. Okay, let's get that on. Water is 7. It's equal number of hydrogen and hydroxide ions, equal. So write that down. Yeah, Stephanie, no need to panic, I promise. Equal. Water is equal in terms of hydrogen and hydroxide, okay? Acid has more positive. Now, this is kind of strange, but this is how I think of acid. Acid, in terms of hair and skin, is actually good for you. It's all good stuff. So it's positive, okay? So the left side of the scale is a very positive thing. When something is extremely caustic and can melt your hair, which is the right side, that's alkaline, that's going to be negative. So you got your left side is positive. Acid has more positive ions. Therefore, alkaline side has what? It has more negative hydroxide ions. And those acid positive ions are the hydrogen ones. Remember? Hydrogen. So I just added that word for you. So acid has more positive ions, and we're talking hydrogen. Alkaline has more negative, meaning hydroxide. No, Melissa, other than what you had this morning and the 2 assignments that Wendy sent you, there's nothing else to turn in today, okay? Stephanie, I don't understand the question about your test, something that I didn't have 25, and I'm not quite sure. Clarify your question, Stephanie, and I can get you an answer. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I want to go into talking about ways to test the pH, the potential hydrogen. Okay. And the reason we test is based on its water-based and also chemical solutions. So that's what pH tests, okay? It tests color. It tests anything from temporary color, water-based products, that are soluble all the way to chemicals, permanent waves, chemical relaxers. So there are different ways to test. Oh no, you don't think it got saved on the channel? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good, guys. Yeah, help each other out. I am not computer tech savvy. You'll never, don't even ask me. It's Greek to me. Okay, so there are 3 types of measuring tools, 3 kinds of pH measuring tools. I want you to write that down. 3 kinds of measuring tools. Nitrazine paper is like litmus, but more sensitive. So the first type is nitrazine. Nitrazine paper. It's like litmus. Okay. These are paper strips that change color to blue okay? They change color to blue if the pH is over 6.0. However, it does measure chemicals from 4.5 to 7.5. It just doesn't turn blue below 6, okay? And they contain a nitrazine dye. And guys, you can get this anywhere. It's like what they test pools with, but you can go to Petco. They have them for at Petco. I don't know why, they just do. And you can purchase this stuff at Walmart. You can go online. You're going to want to check it out to see because you never know. You might want to check something out. I always thought it would be a good idea to measure developer hydrogen peroxide to see if that's still, working very well. So again, if you've got a low pH, or a higher pH from 6.0, you want to know if it's still working. Okay. So again, you can purchase them anywhere. You can purchase them online. So that was nitrazine paper. The number 2 is pH pencil. Okay. It actually comes in a kit. And this is called, it's got a special name, Hydrian Mechanical Pencil. Let's see. By the way, guys, did you already get that the color blue turns that way if the pH is over 6.0? Put that in your notes. And it also measures chemicals from 4.5 to 7.5. That was the nitrazine paper. I want to make sure that you get that. So on the pH pencil, I'm writing this down. Okay, it's used. The pH pencil is used to measure on uneven surfaces, porous surfaces, and even impervious solids like metals, okay? So you can test the pH levels on certain things to see, okay? Again, are we ever going to need this at a beauty school? Not necessarily, but it's nice to know. Used to test, I'm going to write that down, pH of uneven surfaces, porous materials, and impervious Impervious is just opposite of porous. And they can measure 0 to 13.0 in terms of the pH. Okay, pH pencil, Hydrian mechanical pencil, used to test pH levels of uneven surfaces, porous materials, and impervious solids. Okay, it's used to detect acid or alkali residues that are on surfaces. So put that in there. Let me write that in there. Okay, and again, it measures 0 to 13. I'm going to write that it detects, so you see the spelling, acid or alkali residue on surfaces. I'm thinking CSI stuff. That's me. So that pencil can help you determine an acid or alkali residue on surfaces. Okay, how are we doing? We're doing great. And then I'm going to give you a matching. Number 3, the last one is pH meter. Again, it's a scientific instrument that measures. So the others are paper, pencil, and even the pencil one comes with litmus paper. If you looked it up online, you could see that it comes in a little kit with colorful paper and a pen. I don't know why the pen's in there, but anyway, maybe it's a special pen. I don't know. Scientific instrument, and when I say that, when you look up pH meter, it looks like a thermometer. So it's a scientific instrument that measures hydrogen ion activity in water-based solutions. Can you all see that? Okay. So a pH meter, again, I found all this. You can see what the actual items actually look like. In color, we always said you can measure developer or the, if everything's still working with a hydrometer. So that you're going to learn separately. I'm not even going to teach that to you now. That's just another term for a measuring tool, which is basically litmus paper. So hydrometers are basically litmus paper. And you can get them for pennies on the dollar. Okay, but this is an instrument. It looks like a thermometer, and it electrically you touch and it tells you. Okay. All right. Now, the next portion I'm going to do is going to kind of be a matching, and I'm going to try to do this. Number 1. I'm going to write these. You're going to write these down on the left side. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a second. Okay, I want you to write these 5 items down. I want you to make a chart. And I want you on the left side, this is going to be matching. On the left side, I want you to write these items 1 through 5 under the word description. So I'm going to put the word description. Well, just put it under description. I don't know how to say that. So these are descriptions, okay? I want those written. So the first description says substance with a pH value of 4.5 to 5.5. Number 2, alkaline pH range. Number 3, acid pH range. Number 4, water. No. Each number increases by multiples of 10. Did I say of 10 or by 10? By 10, of 10. Okay, now on the right side, what I want you to write are the words